meh. I quite... meh.
You
Words?
good?
What?
Are you good?
I don't know. I was trying to find the words and they just left. They decided to nope out. And it's
You
not
look
even...
for words, you'll find...
We were successful.
No words, head empty. Brain full of goblin. Take it out to realise it's got a wind-up bomb.
You just have Mariah in your head at the moment.
No, you just have idiot.
Both of them?
No.
Idiot with a gun.
No. Idiot's dangerous enough with a tiny little kitchen knife. I don't know what he'd be like with a gun. Like, the only reason Idiot isn't more dangerous is because he quite literally gets slapped as soon as he gets in close combat. Give him a ranged option and who knows what happens.
His bombs are his ranged option.
Yes, but to do that he has to rely on throwing them. If you give him like a little grenade launcher...
Oh my god, we're making Idiot a grenade launcher.
Oh no, we have two artificers in that party as well. We 100% could give him a grenade launcher.
Idiot needs a launcher after his trip into the Shadowfell.
I'm still surprised he didn't return from that Shadowfell with a chainsaw for an arm. It was like a couple of days for us. It was 2 whole years for him.
Just a
Idiot comes
chainsaw with
back
like 4
Evil
different...
Dead style.
He's just-
4 different demons stuck on his chainsaw, just like...
Idiot adopted a new family. Anyway, greetings everyone and welcome back to the Dark Tides of Runeterra. A game that does not have idiots, but has several idiots.
You know it.
Who those idiots are is yet to be determined.
Everyone who doesn't have DM in their name.
Smooth.
I quite literally had to quickly read through Kuiper of Certain Death then to make sure there was no M.
I mean, technically I'm a DM. Not tonight, but I am.
You don't have it on. Then again, you're not even in the Roll20 at the moment, so I can't even say if you did have DM in your name.
I'm actually not. Give me a second.
Who else are we missing from there at the moment? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have to hope that Raka's not pulling an iron and forgetting that they're muted.
Oh.
That would be kind of
What
sad.
was that in? What was that in? I'm trying to remember now. I think we were just chatting, weren't it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
There, and I was like, have I been muted this entire
Yes, you've been muted for like half an hour, and yes, I see you just quickly add that M. So, last time, you all found yourselves teleported into what seemed to be an asylum. And from there, you managed to break out in your own ways, as you realised Mundo was going on a rampage. Through Waffleberg learning about some things and finding a certain Baron, you found out that you were A, in the past, and B, in the night that Mundo actually broke out and made the asylum his own. You had some shenanigans, including your new spoopy friend here, whose name I need to memorize, Silveen, almost getting operated on. As well as, I believe it was Potoo that also got a cleaver to the body.
Yes, after convincing him to go outside.
Yep, he went outside where he found Waffleberg as well as the Baron, who convinced him to... I can't remember what he convinced him to. He was going to try and go back downstairs. Meanwhile, you also all encountered some raccoons.
Fuck.
I saw that giant exclamation mark pop up then. You encountered some raccoons, one of which was bribed off with some cheese. The other one drugged Mariah and dragged her off to be operated on. However, Upon Mundo realizing that Mariah has a healthy bluish purple skin tone, as well as the right frame of mind, there are heavy air quotes on several of those words there. He realized she must be a doctor too, and therefore freed her from the table, and he's basically having her tail him around to help in his procedures. So I am indeed going to realize that I've not got Mundo's stats up. I am well prepared. This. Also, I should probably state this as well because I've been using a lot of his stats, and I think I shouted him out before, but Norsgal on Reddit made these stats, so thank you there. I'm being handed. Nah, I'm right. I'm not being handed. I was offered a ice cream. I need to focus.
Ice cream.
Where is Mundo?
You scream, I scream.
We all scream because
No
Mundo's coming for us.
scream.
So, he is going to make a wisdom save. +2. Jesus Christ.
Ah.
Oh, I sent that to the wrong layer. That's supposed to be on the GM layer now. Shush. Shush. Silence. Which layer did that go to?
What?
Mundo's escaping.
I got
Hurry.
worried then because I thought I sent the map to the GM layer. I sent its objects and tokens. There we go. Mundo is calmed down. So, Mariah, you have been freed from your table. You have been handed what seems to be a shredded up straitjacket to look more like a doctor's coat.
Yeah.
And you have also been handed a meat cleaver.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And Mundo just looks at you. Now, when you see patient and patient looks sick, you throw that to them. It is
Okay.
anesthesia from range. Make sure that patient no escape to spread the sickness.
Okay. That I can do that.
You will know patients when you see them because they not look like us.
They have to look like us to be healthy.
They need the purple skin
Purple skin. Got that one.
and no feathers. We have no feathers.
No feathers.
2 eyes. You
No,
can't
it's
let you
annoying.
see him actually counting his eyes being like 1, 2. 2 eyes.
I have 2 eyes too.
See? Correct number of eyes. Now we go. And Mundo quite literally burst through this door here.
Avoids door, goes through wall, opens door.
Thing goes through door.
Actually, that's outdated. Quite literally just bursts through door, walks through, opens door, closes door, opens door, walks back out. It's like, Mundo needs to remember politeness, which doesn't mean that, yes, I probably should make notes here that this is now a doorway. So, reveal areas to reveal this room. I will also move Mundo somewhere because he's not here now. What is this game? It says so from when even a
Yes.
DM saying that. So yes, you walk through and you are what seems to be in a large waiting room.
I am doctor. I have job.
Oh no.
Mariah's enjoying herself, I assume.
She's just thinking this is a fun little game right now.
Yeah. So, Mariah,
Yes.
you are in this waiting room. There seems to be a few doors around. Doesn't really seem to be much else at the moment. Given the state of this door, you assume that Mundo went out that way. But
Yeah.
is there any other ways that you would like to go first?
This way.
Right.
Welcome back, Raka.
Hello.
So you go through there. It does not let me reveal it because for some reason it acts up again.
It hates us all.
It hates me particularly. I want to reveal. Oh, you want to select stuff? No, I want to reveal. You want to darken?
Well, see, the reveal tool hates you. Roll20 specifically just hates me because every time I roll, I could have the best stats in the world and it would still be shit.
But no, that's Josh's job.
I'll
So
stay here. It makes me feel less bad.
you enter
Well,
there.
I mean, I'll stay here with Josh because then we can each grab an
Yay.
oar and we can row down the river together.
You enter
Yay.
through there and you find what seems to be kind of like a little staff room where you'd assume some of the orderlies would sleep by the looks of things. There's a few uniforms
Yeah.
strewn around. A couple of the beds seem messy while some seem tidy. One of them seems like someone's been quite literally dragged out of their bed.
Oh,
And a little trunk there.
what's in the trunk?
Roll me an investigation.
The trunk is used magnetized.
Trump was a mimic the entire time.
You open it up, and there seems to be like a few medical gear, some casual gloves. You assume like this is where someone's been using it to store stuff. Are you reaching in?
Sure.
Odds or evens?
Odds.
Okay. You reach in, and just before you push your hand down, you feel something sharp at one of your fingers. And you move
Oh,
it and grab it by the side instead. You pull out what seems to be a large syringe.
I'm so happy that I did not get stabbed by that.
It seems to be filled with some odd green liquid.
I'll probably keep that to see what it is.
Yep. I mean, you can roll me a medicine check if you wish to try and find out.
Yeah.
A 10. Given that this seems to be set up quite nicely, it doesn't seem to be a rush job or anything like that, you assume that it's nothing illegal and probably something definitely used here in the hospital. But you can't quite
Yeah.
tell what yet. You may need to find a patient to use it on.
Oh, I could experiment.
You could be doctor.
I could be good doctor.
So, while you're rooting around there and just investigating, let's go back down to the basement where the others are.
Nothing about you being a doctor is good, Rebecca.
I would make a great doctor.
So, if I recall right, we left downstairs with... I can't remember which room you put him in, but... Oh no, you've quite literally put him in this room, the Ken Baron. He's resting
Yeah.
on the table.
What?
From last week, Waffleberg found a Ken Baron and brought him downstairs. So the Ken Baron is resting on the table. Whereabouts did your character go? Where did Silveen go? Because apparently I've got him like going up the stairs.
Silveen had escaped to the upstairs.
Okay, we'll
Had
get to
started heading that way.
we'll get to you in a second.
Excuse me.
So the rest of you that are downstairs. Uh, First things first, you three that are in that room can make me a investigation check.
I can try.
Definitely.
Yep, yep. Alari, you're just eyeing this Kembar and keeping away from him. You could definitely tell he's Zornite, so you're probably not trusting him the best.
Like, nope, 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 nope.
As for Kuiper and Potoo, you indeed see what seems to be a small crawl tunnel here.
Hmm.
I think I would assume that would be for the raccoons.
You can make me a nature check.
Why not?
This seems too smoothly carved out and tunneled to be raccoon.
Hmm.
And even though these raccoons do seem somewhat smarter, they are still technically wild animals.
There
Not to
is a
mention
hole
this.
there.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
There is a hole there. Where it goes is... Eh.
Mildly concerned.
Is it big enough for all of us?
Yes. Yes, it is. You feel like someone like Alekxander might struggle given his muscular heft, but for you slimmer framed people, or in your case, your Yordle frame, you should be able to fit through. In fact, you'll be fine getting through. The other two will have to crawl through, but you'd probably be able to do it on your hands and knees.
Hmm.
I think the question is, do we want to go in the hole?
We already know our way out.
This is true.
We should keep it in mind.
Maybe an escape in case Mundo comes back.
How's Mr. Cambaron looking?
Still out of it. If I recall right, he was knocked out last time. Because both him and Waffleberg fell down the stairs.
Oh,
I'll try and wake him up. He sort of knows his way around this place, I presume, so
Okay,
I'll just poke him.
you poke him to try and wake him up. I've been messaged by a friend. Give me a sec. So
Potoo.
I'll have to roll a perception for him, but just make sure that's in the right window. Let's see what he gets. 1d20 plus 2. He's still out of it. Like, you can tell he's not dead or in a coma or anything because he is still moaning and grumbling under his breath, but he seems still to be out of it.
how come Waffleberg?
Just looks to Waffleberg, who has only just joined. Is like, is this Cambaron hostile?
What?
Wow, yeah, she did just join us.
That was perfect. The Cambaron. Did you knock
Is he
him
going
out
to want
because
to
he's
stab
hostile
us?
or because he's hysterical?
Santa?
I think Waffleberg's brain is buffering ever so slightly. Give him a
Alrighty.
minute.
I can hear the
Sorry.
dial-up tone.
Hi. Sorry,
Hello.
Discord broke. What's going on?
Oh no. This Cambaron. Did you knock him out because he's hostile or hysterical?
What, Kim Baron? Oh, this. No. Waffleberg didn't mean to knock him out. He knocked himself out. Stairway.
Ah, yes, the original anesthetic.
Just
Yes.
squints.
Actually, he's
Okay.
supposed to die tonight. But like, you said that changing the past doesn't actually change the past, so I thought, you know what, Waffleberg's a changed man, he's not that asshole anymore. Waffleberg's gonna try and save him.
Good on you.
Okay. Second
I mean,
question. Hall or stairs? He points to the little crawlway in the corner of the room.
Where'd the hole come from?
The hole's been there. We just don't know what's down it.
Oh, hi, Potato. When did you get here?
It's been here.
Oh, I was wondering what that voice was. Have we done stairs? We did do stairs. I did stairs. Have you done stairs?
No, we haven't been upstairs.
Then let's go stairs. There was something threatening out there, but I don't really remember what the threatening thing was.
I would assume Mundo is upstairs, though. He should be chasing something, though.
Wait, Mundo's here.
Yes.
Oh.
Waffleberg, have you been taking your medicine again?
Yeah, you can't make Waffleberg take his medicine.
You say that as you shove another fistful of mushrooms in your mouth.
The doctor says they taste like cherries, but they don't taste like cherries. I mean, we could do stairs. I don't.
Just munching it. It's like, oh, that one was a puff up. Gonna need to lay it down.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna hurt coming up later.
Alright.
1, 2, 3. Wasn't there more of us? Wasn't there like a ghost lady?
Yeah, I didn't see where the kid went off to. But I just had an idea. Kuiper.
Mhm.
Wasn't the floating weasel thing that you had with you, what do you call it, a familiar?
Oh, give me a moment. This one's up to you, Lee, because although I cast the spell before coming through the portal, it's up to you whether she actually appears or not. He'll just click his fingers and concentrate.
I mean, if you're resummoning it, then she will appear, yes.
Oh!
Mainly because she is a familiar. Familiars can be resummoned. If it was a pet, like Alari's one, and you tried to get it through, that's a different case entirely.
I'm still freaking wondering where Debbie is.
Well, that is a sight for sore eyes.
Devi is also not a familiar and therefore got left in Bilgewater.
How'd you do that?
How'd I do what?
That.
So
I,
we could send them down the hole while we go up the stairs. That way, if we have to retreat back to the hole, we'll know if there's anything bad down there.
that sounds like a plan. Let's send Lyra this way.
Okay. So Lyra is going through the small hole, which is reveal, not darken. Leads into this room here. Seems to
Waffleberg,
be,
I'll teach you when we get out of here.
seems to be
Teach
filled with-
Waffleberg what?
So, the room that Lyra finds herself in seems to be filled with several crates.
Can she open any of them?
She can make me a strength check.
Give me the sheet. -1.
Oof. No. She is
As-
struggling to even shift them.
As they do this, Waffleberg probably doesn't have Wilhelm with him, does he?
No, Wilhelm will have been left behind as well.
Yep, Waffleberg's taking that into account, and Waffleberg's going to pull out a series of papers, looking through them. And Waffleberg's going to go ahead and cast Find and Familiar as well. I don't know why he needed the papers. He actually knew that spell as an Artificer spell. And he is going to summon forth. Fuck it, it's Waffleberg. He's going to summon forth an octopus. That's one of the options.
I'm not gonna lie, I heard you wrong for a second and I thought you were summoning a second Waffleberg.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
sorry, but a second Waffleberg.
Just a fucking Egyptian vulture.
And then both
Oh my
Waffleberg
god, yes.
summon two more
No,
Wafflebergs.
he's summoning an Egyptian vulture, which is what Waffleberg is, by the way. And Waffleberg's gonna look at it. Alright, I don't know what we're doing, but you go help, what's her name, Moonman?
Lara?
You go help Lyra. And then you just hear, "Ah!"
So I'm just gonna have to stick with the Lyra token for now.
Yeah, no, it's just going the exact same way.
Because I couldn't find a vulture thing.
No, it's fine.
I will let Potoo, Kuiper, and Delris roll me nature checks.
Delris.
No, Alari.
That's what I thought you said.
Are you alright?
I think Josh likes
Waffleberg
too. I didn't realize it was that funny, but okay. Here we are.
Do you know what the worst part is? I went to the lore page for Shurima. They don't have vultures, so I can't exactly go, oh yes,
I
it's
have
this
it.
sort of thing. So I'm quite literally just going to say, Alari, yeah, all three of you. You recognize this to be a Shuriman vulture.
Fancy.
Like, unlike a lot of other stuff that's there with Waffleberg, no mechanical parts.
Just looks the vulture, points at vulture, points Waffleberg, squint.
Waffleberg and the vulture look at each other. They look at you just in simultaneously. Waffleberg's like, "What you looking at?" As he's saying that, the vulture's, "Rah!"
I was drinking tea, Waffle.
The resemblance is uncanny.
This is the great thing about fucking Aarakocras. Your familiar can look exactly like you. It's like those people in cartoons that like have the bulldog that looks just fucking like them or some shit.
Oh my god.
So, if your vulture's in there, you can roll me a strength check for your vulture to try and help out.
Yes. Oh shit, that's a -2. Let's go. Oh my god, it's so slow.
Watch it be a really high
That's a natural 1.
Oh no.
That bird
How
doesn't
best
know
to
what to
put
do with
this?
fox.
How best to put this?
The
So-
bird thinks it's an octopus.
Your vulture tries its best to lift up the lid with its feet, only to go flying back when it loses grip and hits the door, making a loud noise. Mariah, make me a perception. Mundo's also making a perception. Does he have a thing? No, it's just a +2. So that's right, 1d20 +2. So, yes, I'll keep that in mind. The door also doesn't fly open. The door seems to be locked. So,
Huh.
with them two in there struggling to open up any crates, where are you four going?
We would probably have been rushing out.
Okay. You were heading upstairs.
Yeah.
I guess Waffleberg will be going upstairs as well.
We're
Two
just
in-
leaving the Kembar there.
Oh shit, yeah. Waffleberg's grabbing let's go with Alfredo. Waffleberg's just grabbing Kimber and Alfredo and is just like, alrighty. And he is bringing him along with him.
Okay. So,
Is it chicken shaped?
What?
You said Alfredo.
there's
Go to
no
hell.
rush upstairs. Let me move the map over. Back to upstairs. As we get to Silveen.
Hmm.
I will place you at the top of the stairs. As you manage to get upstairs as all that's going on down there, you come out
Hmm.
into what seems to be a large courtyard. There's a corpse of a person there near the doors.
They're
And
not. They're not near the
oh,
door. They're near the stairs.
oh yeah, because you took the body with you, yeah.
Yeah, I use them as a distraction.
Yep, so the body's here, like
Ah,
leaning right next to the wall.
It's also
reminds me of
completely
home.
wrecked.
She's just gonna, yeah, the body just kind of reminds her of home.
Yep.
She's not really freaked out by it. She's just like, yeah, we got this.
And yes, throughout the courtyard you can see the locked gates at this side. What seems to be an entranceway in there. And around the corner you won't be able to see it unless you move closer, but it seems to be around there and a large statue and a fountain.
Alrighty. Well, let's see this first.
Okay,
Wait, not done. 15. So that would be a little over by the door. I am going to cast darkness around me.
okay.
And I'm going to do that as I go through the door so that I can close the door and it won't
What's the
come
radius
in.
of your
Um,
darkness?
you can't see in your own darkness
I
spell.
know, I know.
Okay, just making sure
So,
you knew that.
but darkness can be cut off by airtight. I believe it's darkness that can be cut off by like airtight containers.
I
Because
think that
it's like a cloud, isn't it? Yeah.
no,
So
that's fog.
completely covering the source of the darkness by like with an opaque object such as a bowl or a helm blocks the darkness.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Yeah, I brought it up just so I had it because I was like, what does this spell do again?
What is the aura of darkness? Like, what's the range of it?
It's
Uh,
15 feet,
yeah.
so it's like going to like right about,
There we go.
yeah. And she's just, as she does that, she's going to cast it as she slips through the door so that she can close the door and keep the darkness outside.
Okay. Oh, so you're keeping the darkness outside as you go through.
Yeah, I'm keeping it kind of as a shroud, so if Mundo tries to do anything.
Okay, so the darkness isn't following you. Right. I get you.
No, yeah. It's like a shroud just to keep activities quiet.
In that
There's a way
case,
around it for others.
I'm just going to do that to your icon so I can keep that aura there as I just
Mhm.
drag another you in through the door.
E.
So reshape that. And as you slip through the door, you find yourself in what seems to be a reception area.
Is it a nice reception area? Is it kind of trashed?
You
Has
feel like
Mundo been here?
you feel like at one point it would have been a nice reception area, but now it's
Not
definitely
anymore.
trashed.
Okay.
You do find what seems to be the body of a receptionist slumped over the desk.
That's not the thing. That's not how I move people's. Is there anything at the desk, like on the body and everything?
Uh, if you're searching the body, you can make me an investigation.
Alright. Investigations. Oop.
You find a few things.
Mhm.
You will find yourself 5 gold,
Okay.
a set of keys for the upper floors, which is this one.
The door right next to me.
Well, basically for this entire map, keys.
Oh, okay. Let me just add those to my bag.
And on the desk, there seems to be like a check-in book that she is slumped over. A lot of the names seem to be blotted out with blood, though.
I'm gonna take that book.
Okay.
So, yes. Oop, there we go. Is this a hallway or a door?
There's doors here and here.
I'm just gonna unlock this door and
Okay.
slide it to this room and let them do their upstairsy things, because
If that is the case, I'm going to need you to make me. Are you taking your time to find the right key, or are you just gonna try and rush through?
oh no, she's definitely taking her time. Like, I'll roll a stealth or an investigation, like whatever I need to do.
If you're taking your time, you don't need to roll on it. It's just you quite literally flicking through the keys to make sure you get the right one. It's just more a case of if Mundo starts to find out where you are, you've got the choice of either taking your time to ensure you get through, or rushing through to ensure you try and get away as fast as you can.
Can I roll a stealth and be quiet about with the keys?
Yes, you can. Yes. You
Okay.
can also make me now. Well, first things first. At this time, you all would be arriving at the top of the stairs. So those that need to be dragged on, I will drag on. Those who don't need to be dragged on can drag themselves on, but I may need to resize you.
I feel like this is the point where Silveen is like
There's a
sitting
bit
there,
of...
like ever so gingerly separating the keys, sliding
Oh,
it in
no,
quietly.
no, wait. What's
It's like,
happening?
Big bird.
Big waffle, big. Come and face your doom.
Sounds like
Get your
Waffleberg
ass up the
found
top of the
whatever
stairs.
Mundo's been using.
So just pretty much use
And
Lulu's
Alari.
Hugify spell. Hugify!
So, as you four make it to the top of the stairs with your Ken Baron in tow, you all see the large courtyard. You see the doors locked over there. Waffleberg, you already saw them. You already saw the statue in the fountain. And where you once saw an entranceway set, Waffleberg.
Waffleberg don't see shit. I just want to put that out.
That's a
Waffleberg
good
can't
point.
see past this. Waffleberg don't see shit.
That's a good
Except
point.
this way.
Yeah, like, and even then, this wall's blocking your way, so you'd have to creep around that because a large area of the courtyard seems to be blocked off in a shroud of darkness.
Okay, who the fuck did this?
I don't know.
Alrighty. Well, Waffleberg's going around the darkness.
Yep. And as
See,
you're doing
I left
so,
a path.
Not a clue.
as you are all making your way around the darkness, all of you, except for Mariah, roll me perceptions.
This is a lot of work. Perception.
Yep. Yep.
No, hold on.
Silveen and Alari.
Yep. Well,
That is gonna be 19? No, sorry, that's gonna be a dirty 20.
Okay, so Alari doesn't notice it. Everyone else does. Alari, you're too focused on just trying to get around quietly that you somehow miss the loud crashing noise that comes from over in this direction.
Oh,
Ignore this roll. I'm testing something. I've somehow fucked up my D&D Beyond rolls.
Alright,
We avoid that direction, right?
What are we avoiding?
what? Sorry?
The loud crash.
I didn't hear anything.
What?
I
Must have
imagine
been a
you're
little
probably
late now.
distracted.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could go near it. It could be somebody that we know. Like, how many people in this asylum are going to make a loud crash? We're not exactly the most stealthy of individuals. And I mean, it could be Waffleberg there.
Base.
Would you
Pretty sure
be
it's
here
Mundo.
at this time?
What?
Potoo?
Potato? What did you say?
But you're standing with us.
I think
Unless you've got a doppelganger.
And it could be yes, I am Waffleberg, and I could be in there.
I thought he was
Um,
talking about his bird, but okay.
No, the bird's pancakes.
Panbird.
Not to be confused with my brother, Mr. Pancakes.
Ah. Well, there's a possibility that our stuff could be in there as well. And whatever made the crash very easily come out to us, I assume.
There are 3 individuals that could make that loud of a crash. Waffleberg, Mundo, or my patented Mariah bomb.
Good point.
And I do have it patented now, so...
We do need to find Mariah.
Do we? I guess we do.
Oh, heavens knows what Mundo would probably be doing with her.
Heaven knows what she'd be doing with Mundo.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, like, you do not give that girl enough credit. Like, Waffleberg has seen into the abyss, and the abyss looked back, and it had the face of Mariah.
I'm more worried about what she's doing to Mundo at the
Poor Mundo. Oh my god, we should go save Mundo.
Resize with the angry eyebrows. It's back to normal size.
Oh.
Anyways, well, I mean, I don't know if it's obvious. Waffleberg still doesn't entirely know what the fuck's going on here.
Same.
And so, like, do we want to go that way? Do we want to go that way? Do we want to go towards the gate?
Is there a clear way out from here?
From where you are at the moment, you won't be able to tell until you get more like to here, to the other side of the darkness.
Okay.
I should probably ask, is there any windows or doors on this wall right here?
Not on that one, no.
Be right back.
Windows and asylum patients don't go well and so on. It's really, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but, like, the skyscraper of Zon is very depressing. So if you have a crazy person who needs a pick-me-up, and if they look out the window and they see that, he says, pointing at Zon, yeah.
Thank you, fourth wall breaking Waffleberg.
Oh, was that fourth wall break? I thought you were saying that as Potato. I apologize. Really, I'm just as confused as Waffleberg is, so at the moment we're one and the same.
It works for both.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Waffleberg's gonna Potato. If he sees Potato moving, Waffleberg's moving too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with.
All right.
Waffleberg will also drag Moonman. That way, Josh doesn't get left behind.
So as you make it to the other side of darkness, now you'll see the statue in a fountain, the gate, and you see more like around the corner.
Now, in Waffleberg's time having been here on multiple occasions for multiple different reasons, Waffleberg believes that the exit is... Waffleberg forgets.
While they're all doing that, Silveen. You make your way through the door, find what seems to be what probably was once a waiting room, has now been converted into its own little ward.
Oh my.
Beds just lay haphazardly around, just kind of as if there was some kind of emergency.
Well, uh, hmm.
Mundo. Mundo's the emergency.
Mundo is the emergency.
I mean, you can make me a perception. Also, there are 3 doors. 1, 2, and 3. As well as it carries on that way.
Okay. So there's the perceptions.
Hello.
Welcome back. You see some of those medical clipboards on the end of the beds
Hmm.
that normally give the details of the patients.
E. Alrighty. Before I check those, are these doors like cell doors or just like doors?
They look different to the doors that you came through here in, but they are also different to the asylum doors. You feel like these are just like doors into other wards or doctors' offices.
Okay, so she's gonna go to this corner because there's 2 doors right here,
Yep.
and she's just
Oh,
gonna.
hang on. As you
Oh,
get this there, I've got to reveal some more of the map. Said it does carry on to here, so there we go.
oh my. Is the door that she's next to unlocked? She's just gonna kind of like check it quietly.
It is unlocked, yes.
And she is just going to quietly peek in, just to see what's in there.
You peek in, and you see what seems to be a bathroom.
Probably nothing useful in there. And she's gonna do the same to this room, check the door, and if it's not, she's gonna try one of the keys.
Uh, it is open,
Alright,
and you find a doctor's office. You're like one of the rooms that you go in to be seen by a doctor.
it's gonna kind of like shuffle in there and quietly close and lock the door.
Make me another perception. Not perception. Make me another stealth.
Okay. Yay!
Okay.
This is the only thing I've ever been good at. The only thing.
So, as you sneak in there. Yep. You can make me a perception yourself if you wish.
Okay. Can I do an investigation instead? Or no?
If you wish to, yes. Where are you investigating?
Desk.
Okay. So you go over to rummage through the desk. And as you're doing so, you feel 2 tiny hands clamp onto you. As a
Well,
raccoon was in the chair.
well, hello, little fuzzy friend.
It just kind of stares at you. Just like both hands on you to keep you from moving.
I mean, do you have a pen? That's all I'm looking for.
It's going to incite you with its
It's not
minus
even
3
lying. It's
intelligence.
just literally like, well, a pen and scissors.
It just squints, slowly goes for a pen, slowly brings it towards you.
I don't trust you. You don't move. Stay right there. Hmm. She's going to take a step back.
Okay.
Is the pen made of metal?
No, it seems to be a plastic pen.
Cool beans. Because I was going to go invisible and cast heat metal, but now I'm just boop.
Okay, so you take a step back and you go invisible. And this is verbal.
I just say bye. Hi, my dear.
Everyone,
Oh,
including
actually, I don't have my materials on
Oh.
me, so I can't do that.
never mind. No one gets to roll a perception.
Yeah, no. Well, then in that case, she's just going to take a step back. She doesn't trust the raccoon with the pen. Put the pen down on the desk. She's
It'll do
squinting at
so.
the raccoon now.
It'll do so.
She is going to take Zed pen. Thank the raccoon.
As you take the pen,
Mm-hmm.
make me a dexterity save.
Ah, shit.
Let's see if it manages to outbeat an 11.
It probably will.
I mean, it gets a +3 to a
It
dex
still
check.
probably will.
No.
Oh, wow.
So as you go to grab the pen, you're too fast as its little hands just kind of slam on the table.
See, I knew I didn't trust you. I'm not going to hurt you, but you seem very farly intent on hurting other people. And that's
Uh,
just not right.
There is now something jabbed in the table. A syringe.
Oh, anesthetics. Well, you know, I guess I could use some anesthetics of my own, my dear. And then she's going to actually wait. Is this fuck? I can't do that.
One sec.
Mm, I know there's something in here that I have that is. There it is. It's going to cause the raccoon to go blind.
Okay, con save. Let's see. +2.
What is it?
It
Nope.
fails and it falls backwards off the chair.
She is going to. It can still hear me though. So...
Yes, and speaking of, everyone, including Mariah, perception checks.
Oh, does that mean me?
No, because you
Okay.
quite literally heard the chair fall over. You know what it is. Sasha, 1d20 +2. Kuiper, you're not quite sure. Waffleberg, you're not quite sure. I think Dion went BRB, didn't you?
Yes, she did.
Yep. So, everyone but Kuiper and Waffleberg, you hear a crashing sound coming from this direction.
Sounds like something interesting is going on over there now.
What I need to know is, Dr. Mariah, are you heading that way?
Yeah.
So, you exit there and you go through here.
Patient.
And you find yourself in this room.
Oh, this is a big room.
And shortly afterwards, Mundo arrives through that door.
Did you hear that too?
Me heard noises there, Doctor. We go check.
Let's check.
Now you
We
can make me a
hear that.
perception, Silveen.
Oh, if I have to burn this whole goddamn place to the ground.
Oh god.
If you want to, you can make me a check to see if you heard.
Yes.
Yeah. You, Silveen, you hear footsteps approaching. Kuiper, you definitely heard Mundo shouting.
And Mariah.
And Mariah
Oh,
replying.
this is a good one. I look at the nurse. I take notes of what the nurse is wearing and looks like. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse now.
Unfortunately, you're not a nurse.
What do you mean? I can't be a raccoon with a little hat?
Not if you don't have a caterpillar cocoon with you.
Ah, shit.
So
Hey, what were you casting?
Polymorph.
Ah. Yeah, you do need materials.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, I'm going to say, Mariah,
Yes.
make me a dex check. Mundo's going to make a dex check, and whoever gets the highest is going to arrive there first.
Moonman. Why do you see? Why have you shrunken back, Moonman?
Mundo unfortunately gets there first.
Mundo does have longer legs. It's understandable.
Yeah, Mariah has tiny legs.
Yep. So, now comes the other fun part. Actually, yes, I believe you did say you sneaked into the room, so you did close the door behind you,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't lock the door.
No, I did lock the door. I locked the door when I came in. So that door is
Okay.
just a little closed.
So you're gonna hear the door rattle, and then rattle harder as someone just correctly tries to force the way through. Like,
Back, guys.
welcome back.
Welcome back.
What the
About that.
hell that's happening inside my head?
You can. First things first, make me a perception there, Silveen. Okay. So, as you're looking around, the only real main thing in this room is the desk, and a bookshelf, and a chair. How do you plan to hide?
Well, I've been thinking about that. Um,
Big brain move.
I know. This is like,
Hang on.
what do I do?
Hmm.
So,
I don't know. I honestly, she's just gonna just face the door and
okay,
forgive me, Mariah.
okay. I was just doing that just purely because in another window, I had a timer going for a minute. I was giving you a minute to try and work something out. So, as you face the door, Mundo just looks to you, Mariah. Now remember, Smoke Doctor, sometimes patients very doctor shy. When that happens, some force needed, like so. And he's going to try and break down the door. With that +7 strength.
Yep, that's gonna be a door down.
Yes, but it stays on its hinges somehow.
Mundo's getting better at not manhandling doors. How about that?
He just looks at it as the door stays at its hinges, it swings up, he's like, that's if I'm in budget. Now then. Mundo see... Mundo familiar with this patient. Mundo tried to fix them before. Anesthetic more have worn off.
No. The anesthetic never really worked. It rather piss poor, if you ask me. You're a terrible doctor.
Oh,
So, I am not even going to roll anything for him now. There we go.
Although that Wah.
You have insulted the doctor.
I did insult the doctor.
No. Mundo no like how you talk to doctors. Especially in front of new doctor. And he places a hand firmly on your shoulder.
This is good roleplay, isn't it?
There's a
I
new
don't know what's
doctor,
going
you
on.
say?
Yes, Silveen, you actually see Mariah now next to Mundo as he pulls you out the office.
Oh my, see, now, I think you should let your new doctor take a crack at me.
Make a persuasion check. With
Yeah,
advantage.
Oh, wait. Wait, where is it? Oh, it's right there.
He looks at you. Looks down to Mariah. That good idea. Training on job.
I believe that there are also some other people, so that gives you time to go find them. More than one doctor for the job, you know. Taking care of all of the patients, and she says that very maniacally and smiles.
Mundo agree, but Mundo also know this patient very tricky.
Tricky? Well, that's only because I used to be a nurse, but, you know, once you're dead, those things don't matter anymore.
He's gonna put you back in the office and then move so Mariah can stand in front of the doorway to stop you from escaping. Mundo, go check on others. Small doctor. Remember, anesthetic works best if hit in forehead.
Forehead. Got it.
Mundo will not, and Mundo will walk through here and then let out a loud scream. No one needs to roll perception, you all hear this as Mundo quickly walks into the darkness.
Run.
Oh no, wait,
No,
no,
no.
the darkness isn't here because the doors are closed.
So he doesn't know about it
Yep.
yet.
The
So
moment
Mundo
he
will walk
opens
into
the
here.
door, consume.
Also, you should be down there with the others now. So, Mariah,
Yes.
you are now face to face with Silveen. You have been told by Mundo to throw the thing. What are you doing?
That's a bit mean. That's a little mean. You haven't done anything to deserve to be hit in the head, have you?
I've done a lot of things to deserve to be hit in the head, but, you know.
Have you? Maybe I should then.
Mariah just throws the syringe instead.
But
That is a
like
good
I
point.
said,
You
my
do have the
dear,
syringe.
once you're dead, none of it matters.
So you're already dead. Why are we even you're a patient? You're dead.
mean-
You already failed.
I realize I already failed, but he thinks that I'm alive, so therefore he thinks the diagnosis of being alive and me saying that I'm dead is a totally just bonkers idea that I could even be dead and still be here. You know, now that I think about it, I do sound a little crazy.
I'm a little crazy, but I don't want to kill people or hurt dead people.
I'm sorry. I just need to point out. It's like I'm a little crazy, but I don't want to kill people. Now let's go find my gun.
Yeah.
I do need to find that gun.
Have you figured out where our stuff is yet?
No, I've kind of been looking around though, but didn't find that much. Nearly stabbed myself with a needle.
Oh my, that's never good. Well, I think we should go find the others and sneak around behind Mundo's back. But I do want you to know the raccoon in the room is blind, but has been listening to the entire conversation. Turns around to the raccoon. How would you like to dispose of it, Doctor?
I'm going to throw.
The anesthetic.
Which are you going to throw? Are you going to throw the needle or the hatchet?
Let's do the needle first, then I can throw the hatchet after if it doesn't work.
And you are throwing it to. Are you throwing it or just going to stab?
I mean, stabbing a needle makes more sense.
Yep. So you approach. The raccoon backs off into a corner. Just hisses.
I hiss back.
Mariah starts T-posing.
Maybe.
T-pose for dominance.
Now the
With
question.
needle in hand.
Make me a intimidation check, Mariah.
Wow. Mariah's not good at hissing.
Mariah.
In defense, the raccoon's about the same fucking size as you.
Mariah.
Yeah.
The raccoon pounces on you.
Ooh.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to hit it with the hatchet or something now.
The raccoon is just like frantically swiping at you, and I am going to roll something for it just to see if it manages something.
Sally stabs itself with the syringe that Mariah has.
I mean, it has a chance if it rolls on that one. It did not though. However, it has taken the syringe.
Oh, bullet.
Holy bonkers. She's just going to take the pen and she's just going to stab it with the pen as quickly as she can. And I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know what you want me to roll for this, but she's taking the pen and she's just like hell.
Remember that there's another syringe that's lodged in the desk.
Yeah, but that takes the fun out of stabbing a raccoon. Voice in my head, could you please go away? We're trying
I'd
to
rather
stab
not.
things
Okay.
here.
Just make me a strength check.
Oh, shit.
Add your proficiency to it as well, because this is technically
16.
attacking with a improvised weapon.
Yeah.
A 16 will hit the raccoon. What's your strength bonus?
Just 2. That's or 3. Yeah. No, 2. What? Why did it roll for 3 over here?
Because if you're attacking unarmed or with improvised, it's generally just 1 plus your strength bonus. So 3 damage. Yeah, you stick the pen right into the back of the raccoon's neck, and it just falls limp on Mariah.
Mariah, now take this syringe. I've applied anesthetics. We'll be able to use this one for something else. And
Alright.
take the one on the desk. I think that the doctor should hold all the anesthetics.
Yeah, I'll hold the anesthetics. I've literally been on this job for less than 5 minutes.
That's wonderful. You're doing a great job.
I feel like
Oh, thank you.
given how this is going, I may need to start putting up a tally of just how many raccoons die, and just pass them on to Pot as later information in case something happens.
What happened to all the raccoons? Well, you see.
Just Pot there being like, Pot will avenge. You broke up so much over it was civic. Anyway, so where are you two heading now? You saw Mundo go through these double doors.
Well, I don't think it will be the best idea to go down that
So I
way.
should probably reveal that as well, because you would have seen it when you were walking past.
It's very, very true. I think we should go back over this way.
Let's go.
Benzolene's just gonna head that way.
Okay. So as you're heading that way,
I am
you four,
going.
you've been hearing a lot of loud noises coming from this direction.
Yeah.
Who wants to bet that's where Mariah is?
It's also where Mundo is.
Yeah. Waffleberg.
Here-
Waffleberg is.
No, Waffleberg forgot what he was saying after he said his own name.
We should find our things. Go for Mariah. Get out of here.
As
I
you,
know this is all one building.
as you
Yes.
as you say that, you hear doors opening and a
We're
loud
going.
scream.
We are going.
Yep.
That's not a door. That's not
No,
a door.
no, that's a window.
That
It's a
one actually
window.
is a window.
It's not even a window. It's a window on the map, and that's not an actual door.
It looks like a door. It looks like stairs.
Potoo hits the window just through.
It was trying to be a ghost.
So as you head up here, there are some stairs that lead up and around to a higher up area, which goes around to 4 doors. Five
Eeny,
doors.
meeny, miny, mo. Get your tiger by its toe. If it hollers, let it go.
Okay. So you see
Hi.
Waffleberg duck into a side room.
Oh,
The faster we find our stuff, the faster we can go.
Let's do a small split up. Only a small one. I'm taking this one.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is a door, right?
Yes, that's a door. So
Okay.
there are 2 doors left for you, Alari.
oh,
They're both down here.
my companions have each gone in separate directions.
Waffleberg's just gonna peek his head out of the door. Alari!
What?
Make a choice, damn it!
You suck. Walks.
I mean, I will not discuss my sex life here and now.
So you're following Potoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I'm a bird. I don't think I can suck. No
Uh,
hummingbirds.
let's go anti-clockwise. This started from Waffleberg. Waffleberg.
Yes,
You find
Waffleberg.
yourself
Where?
in what seems to be a large operating room.
Cool.
It seems to have been repurposed as a large operating room. It may have been a large office at one point.
Is there anything of interest in here?
Yes, straps that seem to now be broken.
Cool. Is there any sharp, pointy things?
Make me an investigation.
Why are you making Waffleberg do things?
Also, you will see the giant hole here, the giant Mundo-shaped hole in the wall.
Ah, Wafflebergs from a place of those are quite a common occurrence.
That's fair.
That's like a 17.
17.
No, sorry, that's a 20. That's a 20.
Oh, 20.
Wow. I didn't realize I had +7 investigation.
You do just a quick check over of the room. You find a few operating tools, actual proper ones, not just giant meat cleavers this time. So, scalpels, sutures, all that kind of thing.
Waffleberg is grabbing it all.
And a few jars containing several different liquids.
Anything with body parts.
No, oddly enough.
Fine, Waffleberg's gonna grab the liquid jars. If this is piss, I can at least throw it at him. And then Waffleberg's just going to attempt to leave this room.
Okay. Through the hole or through the door? Doesn't matter which, it goes into the same room.
It's Waffleberg. It's through the hole.
Okay, Kuiper. You find yourself in what seems to be a largish office-like waiting room. And as you're just looking around, you hear clattering coming from the room nearby. And then Waffleberg emerges from a hole.
Ah, Moonman Doppelganger!
Keep it down.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good point.
Only me. You find our things?
I found things, not our things. My things now.
Okay, I'm going. I don't think there's anything in here. I'll check this one.
Also,
Waffleberg,
I forgot to
Waffleberg
do
will
that.
stand guard.
I forgot to do that because, him walking into darkness and thinking he was blind for a moment, he didn't like that. So, yeah, you're kind of dealing with an angry Mundo now.
I mean, would he be angry or scared?
He'd be angry. Mundo doesn't get scared.
So, Kuiper, you were going through there.
Yep.
And Waffleberg, you were going through there.
No, Waffleberg standing guard.
Okay. Alari and Potoo,
Hmm.
you find yourselves in the mortuary.
Oh, this is creepy.
This is fun.
Each of the slabs has several bodies piled
I'll be
onto
right
them.
back.
Only some of the bodies seem to have been hacked apart, though.
Oh,
Huh.
joy.
Some of them, but some of make me investigation before I reveal
Right.
too much.
Give me 1 second.
A 12 and a 12 and we wait.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll just say with the 12 to you notice that some of the bodies seem a bit more pristine than the others.
Hmm.
Same with you, Alari. You just noticed that as well. Some of the bodies seem a bit more pristine.
Pristine like fresh or pristine like kept
Pristine,
clean?
pristine like someone didn't try and go at them like a butcher.
So these ones aren't Mundos.
No, that means somebody's been doing this with a cleaner hand.
I mean,
None
it
of
is a
our stuff
hospital.
seems.
Dead patients dying in a hospital isn't a unheard of thing.
Well, none of this is where our stuff is, so I'm not too interested in it. I do want to poke my head through the door right here, though.
Okay. As you pop your head through, you feel a warm. Oh wait. Actually, no. As you go for the door, it is locked.
Can you undo it, bird?
Bird.
Oh.
You're better at that stuff than I.
Can you find me something to substitute my thieves' tools with?
I'm gonna look around, see if I can find some like tweezers or syringes, forceps, thing.
Investigation.
Anything sharp and pointy.
Because
Right.
clearly you don't have any
Investigate
bobby
pointy
pins.
things. Yes. You'll find a few tools around, like a few tweezers and such. They seem to be mainly stuff just to remove any organs or to do autopsies.
Yeah. I was gonna take them back over to Potoo, like, can you use these?
So these technically may help, but at the same time they're not fully thieves' tools. So I'm giving you two options.
Okay.
With disadvantage, you can try and make me a sleight of hand to get through, or you can take your time.
I'd rather try my getting it done quickly.
Okay, make me a sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Both of those were 23s.
I need a turn tracker for my own mood. Okay. You pick the lock. I'm going to roll, because the one downside to lock picking quickly is noise.
Very true.
Unfortunately, apparently Mundo is deaf and blind right now.
Well,
God.
Mundo also has like several walls between me and him, unless he's suddenly grown Yordle ears.
Mundo lived in this asylum for a while. Mundo knows when noise is not right. Also, not to mention, it's kind of quiet here aside from the noises you're all making.
Good point.
Given everyone else is dead. So, you make your way through, and you find yourself in the incinerator. Reveal areas, please.
Crematorium.
In the crematorium, in the incinerator room.
Right. And there's nothing in here that we need, is there?
No, I thought that there'd be like a clothing or items collection for the dead people, but
Both the
Yes, that
incinerators
would.
seem to be on.
someone's burning bodies.
Well, understandable.
I mean, you can make me a... I mean, is there anyone here you want to be checking?
I mean, there appears to be a desk here and some barrels
Yep,
there.
there's
I
desk,
mentioned
barrels,
barrels.
and the two furnaces that are on.
Right, I'm checking the desk.
Okay, Alari, are you
Oh,
checking? Are you checking anywhere?
I'll look in the furnaces.
Furnace 1 or Furnace 2?
Furnace 1.
Okay. You head over to Furnace 1. You lean forward to check to see what it is through the window. Make me a wisdom saving throw. You fail. As you lean closer, a hand slams against it, and you see the charred, burning flesh of someone just lean forward, giving off their last ear-piercing scream before they succumb to the flames.
Just kind of stumbles back like, nope.
And
Well,
yep.
One quite dead.
Mundo's getting closer.
I mean, you wouldn't know it, but you can make me. You four up there can make me perceptions.
Can I be in here?
Yeah,
Can
you'd be
I,
in there by
like,
this point.
Okay, I'll still make it.
Yeah.
what do you want me to roll for the desk?
Investigation.
Okay.
Okay. I'd also say that by now you two would be in this room as well.
That's a 19.
Okay. Kuiper, you're not quite sure, given you're in here with that 10. Waffleberg, you're a bit closer. A 10 would work. 19, yes. 23, not 20, of course. Alari and Silveen, perceptions. Alari, yes. So the only one that's failed so far is a Kuiper. But to be fair, Kuiper's also one of the furthest away. Is Raka still here? I take that as potentially
Rocket.exe
no.
stopped working.
Sorry?
I love. Okay, sorry.
We're asking if Raka was still here. So, everyone but Kuiper. Yep, you hear the Mundo noises getting closer. Mundo heard screaming from over here. Mundo. No like when patients scream. Upsets other patients. Which way? On the 20 plus 2, let's see if he's this way.
Oh no!
So, we'll get to that in a second. Did you roll that investigation, by the way, Potoo?
Yes, I got a 19.
Oh, that was for that. What did you get for your perception?
Perception. Let me see.
Because I thought that 19 was your perception.
That was for the other thing.
I mean, to be fair, Alari
20,
heard it anyway, so
21.
yeah, you would have heard him. For a 19, you look through the desk and you find a small book, just like a logbook of items taken, and items set to be incinerated.
Incinerate my shit. Does it say where it's being kept?
It does indeed.
Cool. Where?
The items have been split up into 3 different batches. Batch number 1 are the ones labelled most dangerous. The ones to be incinerated first. They are in the barrel. Items number 2 are labelled items of curiosity. They have been kept in the staff room. Like in the main, what's the head of a hospital called?
Director.
Yeah, it's like in the director's chambers.
You want to put a little icon in the other areas then?
I would do, but it doesn't label in the book where they are. It just says that they're in those places. It's up for you lot to find where they are. And if I'm not putting them on the map, that means that you haven't found those rooms yet. And the third items are the items that are to be incinerated. They are in storeroom number 2, located behind the kitchen.
We've got to go back downstairs, don't we?
Likely.
Make me a wisdom check there, Potoo.
15.
15. Given that you notice in brackets after the kitchen the letter U, you assume that means upper floors.
Ah.
So it's a kitchen up here rather than in the asylum.
Ooh.
But you know that at least some of the items are in these barrels.
Yep. We're immediately going to the barrels. I imagine Waffleberg stuff's probably in here too, given what all he has.
So, as you're looking through that, just gathering up what items you need. Well, what items were there. I'm going to have to look through to see what there was on everyone. Essentially put, if it's a weapon of some kind that isn't magical, you'll find it in there.
Cool.
Magical
So,
items you presume count as items of interest. Non-magical, non-weapon stuff are probably just the to be incinerated.
so essentially all of my non-magical weapons and my clothes?
Your non-magical weapons would be in there. Your clothes are, and your clothes would probably be in the ones labeled kitchen. So yes, you are still running around in what is the rags of the straitjackets. Either way, while you're all sorting through that, Kuiper,
Aye.
you find yourself what seems to be a nice cold walkway, just in the open air. Just seems to go around the corner, with large walls surrounding each side. but you can at least see the night sky from here. Or at least you can see the Zornite night sky, which isn't really too much of a sky, it's more of a smog. But at least you think something that might be the moon up there.
I'd like to have a look through the window.
You look through the window and you see the staff room. You see a trunk that seems to have been furiously searched through.
Okay.
You
That
can
was
make,
super quick.
you can make me a perception though as you're going around here.
Okay.
No.
Onwards.
Yep.
Just-
You go through that door.
Yep.
As you go through that door, you find Silveen and Mariah.
Oh,
You find
it's
Mariah.
you.
Mariah is dragging along a large meat cleaver, as well as wearing a shredded up straitjacket as a doctor's coat. Silveen seems to be carrying a pen covered in blood.
I'll stab you.
What have you done?
A lot has happened, and I'm loving it.
Mariah, how does Mundo trust you?
Mundo thinks that she's a doctor, so I've just kind of been playing along. It worked so far, but if he finds us, I don't know if it'll work again.
I'll just hit you with it.
That's very true, that might work, but if he sees us with Kuiper, Kuiper's another patient.
Then I run and chase him and hit him too.
It shouldn't be too hard to convince him that we're all doctors if it was that easy for you.
No.
No. You have to be in a very, very similar looking way to him.
And currently,
I am not a
I-
racist. I love everyone in this group. Everyone is
Pepper.
unique and beautiful.
Piper thinks for a moment. You know how the glamour makes you appear to people how they would ideally want you to appear.
Yes.
Just going to do that.
Okay. So, Waffleberg, you've been waiting around in that room. You
Yes.
hear a door kick in, and heavy footsteps enter the room.
Oh, that must be Alari.
Are you fucking stupid?
Mariah, when'd you get here? Get out of my head!
Watching.
I mean,
Get
you
out of
hear
my
it from the
head.
you hear it from the other side of the door.
Oh. Waffleberg's going to. Waffleberg's gonna open the door. No. Waffleberg's gonna walk back through the hole. If he opens the door, Mundo's gonna hear.
Okay.
Waffleberg's gonna walk through the door. He's gonna hide there. Can Waffleberg peek out and see Mundo?
Make me a stealth. And for this one, I'm going to go. Well, I'll roll a perception for Mundo because he is actively searching for people now. So this won't be against his passive. Uh-oh.
That is a 9?
A
No,
9?
sorry, that's an 8. That's an 8.
8. There's still a chance that you pass. Kind of like that.
Jesus Christ.
Beautiful.
Okay, so Waffleberg can see Mundo, and Mundo's right there.
Yep.
Waffleberg is going to very, very quickly. Can he do it? Can I do it? Is the question here.
Come on, Waffleberg.
Waffleberg is going to. Okay, I can do it with the jars. Waffleberg is going to take a moment. He's going to roll one of the jars. And he has magically tinkered with the jar. As per his Artificer ability, he's going to roll it to try and get it over to this door
Okay.
so that Mundo can see it.
Mundo does indeed see it.
The moment that Mundo can see it, it is going to the liquid is going to light up, and a sound similar to coughing is going to sound from the jar as Waffleberg is going to tiptoe by the window out the fuck of this building.
Okay. Mundo will race up to the jar, and as you're exiting that room, you'll hear him just shout out, "Ah, coughing syrup!"
You know what? Sure, that's not what I was going for, but okay. Waffleberg's he's gonna exit.
Yep.
And he is flat out just like speed running / limited speed walking / limited running.
There was a limited time offer down at the store, and he had to go get it. We're just going with that.
Yeah, basically, he's
taking.
Waffleberg is just speed walking to that door as quietly as he can. He's like,
The door is locked.
he's going to the other one.
The door is also locked.
The fuck? Wait, these doors are locked?
Yep.
Hold on. Waffleberg's got a thing. I think.
Alari and Potoo, make me perceptions.
Second.
Wait, does Waffleberg not have knock?
Yep.
I thought I had knock.
Ranna went BRB. So, Alari, is Potoo sorting out through the barrels to try and find the items? You quite literally hear the frantic pitter-patter of Waffleberg feet as he runs this way. Like you could probably tell it's Waffleberg with the 18 just purely because the footsteps aren't heavy enough to be Mundo, and one of them is like a clanking noise.
Okay, Waffleberg doesn't have knock, but you said they're locked doors?
Yes.
I mean, that's fucking easy. Waffleberg's gonna grab a hold of... Yeah, Waffleberg's gonna go ahead and grab a hold of door handle.
Okay.
And Waffleberg is going to go ahead and... No, that won't work. Apparently that'll take the whole door with it. Waffleberg's just gonna... Lockpick? Waffleberg's good with...
What items do you have on you to lockpick with?
Waffleberg's got a scalpel.
Okay. Disadvantage for a sleight of hand.
Oh no, Waffleberg doesn't need a scalpel. He's a fucking artificer. He's got artificer tool. He can just summon those.
Oh, could they just be summoned?
The right tool for the job with Thief. Yeah, I can magically create one set of... Oh no, I do need tools to actually do that. I need tools to make tools.
I mean, you have a scalpel.
I have a scalpel. Okay, we'll do this. Waffleberg is making... he's making thieves' tools, and he is going to go ahead and... I believe that's dexterity, right?
Yes. Are you doing this quickly, or are you taking your time?
It's Waffleberg. Is there such a thing as taking time?
Good point. Roll your check.
We don't take time here.
That's 16.
You actually manage it. And you quickly make your way in, and you find yourself in what seems to be a large, cushy room.
I would laugh if it was face to face in a
I
large
know
cushy room
that
with a
there's
bunch of
technically
raccoons.
loads of doors here, but I've counted it as just one large room. Counted this as a sofa. That is still a bed. This is going to be a desk here. You
Waffleberg's going to the desk.
You head to the desk and you find a book on top.
Waffleberg's taking the book. What's the book say?
The book is a detailed list of items of interest,
Ooh.
written by the director of the hospital.
Asshole, 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 asshole. Starts flipping through
So, it says
on
your
my
book,
page.
as you're flicking through, the most recent ones would be rough descriptions of the party's magical items. I just
Well,
realised
shit,
Alari's got a sack of fruit in her inventory.
Yeah, that's 95% of what I have because I'm an artificer. Waffleberg is going to. Is it in this room? Are they in this room? Does the book say?
There is a large trunk, yes.
Waffleberg's going to the large trunk.
Okay, make me an investigation as you do.
Tiptoe by the window. This is gonna. That's a 15 plus 7. That'll be a 22.
Excellent. As you're digging through, you're pulling out everyone's magical items, managing to steer clear of some of the more dodgy things that you're afraid of touching, such as
Legion.
Like, for Legion, you just kind of pick up a couple of the other items and just use those to pull it out.
As Waffleberg is holding Legion, he's just like, remember this day I did not burn you alive and melt you down into fucking copper coins. He's just gonna put Legion right there. And if you talk to me, I swear to God, I'm gonna scream. And Waffleberg's going back to
There is one last item in that chest. One that none of you had. What seems to be a container containing some odd purple dust.
Is this dust of deliciousness?
No. Although maybe for Waffleberg, I don't know.
Can Waffleberg roll an Arcana?
Sure.
Just not necessarily to figure out what it is. That is.
You feel like there is something quite strange about this indeed.
Waffleberg's gonna. Okay, it's Waffleberg. Fuck it, throwing caution out of the wind. Waffleberg's picking up and just like going through it. And he's just gonna.
Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Fucking do it. Alrighty. Let's do this. I've got a Constitution of +2. What could go wrong? 18. That's dirty 20.
Take this. You feel something just spike in your head. And you
Ow.
feel a mixture of pain, but also pleasure. Like, this feels good, but not in a good way, if that makes sense. You instantly recognize this to be a drug.
Waffle. It's in a pouch, right?
It's in a jar, actually, this one.
Oh, it's in a jar.
As if someone quite literally collected it to try and study.
Waffleberg, just with a flick of his wrist, the jar's going to be gone as he uses his pocket. Yep. He's not letting that fall in anybody else's hand. He's just going to, just using his second level spell for that.
I will let you, since you are from Zone, roll a history check.
Cool. That's a 5 plus history. Yes. That's a 9.
The only thing you get from this is a name that resonates through your head for some reason. Silco.
Waffleberg's gonna shove this whole jar into Mariah's mouth. Oh shit, you're still here. I should probably No, I'll forget him. Alrighty, we're gonna carry him with me.
Who, Legion?
No, the other dude.
Oh, yes.
The Baron.
As you look around for him, you don't see him.
Alrighty, Waffleberg's motivation to save his ass is gone.
It's
Waffleberg's
almost
picking
as
up
if
the...
in your panic, you forgot to take him with you.
Yeah, that's a very Waffleberg thing. I probably laid him down on the surgery table. Waffleberg is going to go ahead and pick up the items carefully.
Okay.
And Waffleberg actually doesn't know where anybody is because Moonman went through one door, went out the other, and he didn't see where Alari and Potoo went. So Waffleberg's gonna
I mean,
stay here where it's safe.
Okay. So, Alari and Potoo, you managed to get your weaponry back aside from your magical ones.
Wait, correction. I do have all the magical weapons, which does include a specific beads of fireball, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, continue.
Okay.
It's bad that always ends up in my hands.
So, you've got your items back aside from, well, your weapons back aside from magical ones.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you two going now? You've heard Mundo basically go this way.
He was going to be going the opposite direction. And he also is probably going to be looking for the kitchen, among
Okay.
other things.
So, opposite way would be which way? This way, this way.
She chooses to come in here and speak at awful times.
Do you need me to ping those again?
Yeah. She keeps coming through and talking. Maybe she just finished doing something and she decided to come tell me about it.
That's okay. You've got this way or this way, back to like this main building area.
Lee,
Yes?
am I alright to go?
If you're not feeling too great, that's fine.
Yeah, my jaw's hurting a lot.
That's
my
fine.
goal.
Go rest up.
Painkiller.
I'll say that Alari's following Potoo for this.
Okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Alright, see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Well,
So this room right here.
Yes, it is locked. But with your makeshift thieves tools, are
Shouldn't be
you
too
taking
far.
your time or are you going to make me a check?
Given the fact that Mundo is apparently closer than normal, I'm going to take my time.
Okay, so you take your time. And as you are indeed taking your time, Kuiper and Mariah, are you following their new
patient?
ghosty friend?
Are you two doctors
Sure.
following
Yeah,
the
I
patient?
trust this
Yeah.
ghostly person.
Okay,
Fucking out of here. Like, I heard banging and it's all over.
so you're following down this way. Whereabouts are you going?
She is going to quickly run back into this office. Are there any, like, scissors in any of the drawers on the desk?
No.
Damn.
Kuiper, you
Yep.
see a dead raccoon on the floor.
Oh, you are not kidding.
We were not kidding about what?
Although,
Holding up the pen with blood just, like, dried all over it.
if Mundo sees me as a raccoon, that is not a bad shout.
I need to find a pair of scissors. I can't just carry this book and pen around all day.
Scissors. If we can find our things, I have a pair of scissors.
Well, that works for me. Alrighty. I also have keys to a few of the rooms. She's gonna kind of like come out of the room and jump up onto the bed quietly and then over to this door to like
Okay.
check it.
It seems to be just another doctor's office.
Are there any scissors in this desk?
Make me investigation.
Yay!
You find a pair of scissors.
Oh, fuck yes. She like takes the scissors, cuts one of the straps with the belt buckle.
It doesn't cut. They are safety scissors.
Bitch! Throws them on the floor. Don't need that trash.
Why would you have sharp scissors in a
Leave.
near an asylum?
Leave the others. You never know when somebody might need to stab somebody. God. Should have more than safety scissors here.
Check the other rooms real quick.
Okay, so that one was the bathroom. This one seems to be me using the wrong tool again. It seems to be just a couple of patient rooms.
Hmm.
Oddly enough, one of them a lot more pristine than the other.
Seeing as these are empty, I don't suppose there's any object of use.
I mean, you can make me an investigation when you entered this one.
Always. Yeah.
You find some spilled purple powder on the floor.
Can I make a check on that first?
Sure, you can make me a medicine check.
Medicine.
It's purple powder. You know it's not glitter
Hmm.
though. If it were in that one, you may think it was just Mariah's glitter. You know it's not glitter.
I may try and carefully scoop some up in an empty vial.
Okay, do you have an empty vial on you?
I have
Yes, because he picked them up
4 of them.
downstairs.
Oh yes, yes he did. In that case, yes, you can just scoop some up. Make me just a quick dex check to make sure you don't get any on you. You get some on you. Luckily, it doesn't seem to affect you just by being on your skin.
Hmm.
Seems to, but it is kind of one of those irritating things where you get something stuck in like your fur and it's like the.
Just try to use like the tip of the vial to get it out and just gives up.
Yep.
And quick check of the other one.
Well, that one was that one. The
Ah.
clean one, you don't really find anything fancy in it or anything special. Seems like
Okay.
that must have been a tip-top patient. So, you're going back through that door? Indeed.
To the
So you're
yeah.
entering the reception again?
Yes.
Okay. There is just the only other door across from there, which are these ones.
Do we want to go out there, or would you like to go out there? And she points to the front door.
I take that darkness is your doing.
Oh, yes, no, I was not about to be followed quite easily into this room. Regardless
Yeah.
of if he's a big, stupid monster with... I
Just
don't know if you
points.
could call them good intentions.
Onwards.
Okay.
Into
So,
the breach.
before we get to you lot, Potoo,
Yes.
you make your way in. Waffleberg, you hear someone entering the room next to yours. Potoo, you find yourself in the staff room.
Waffleberg's gonna open the door. Because there's a door here.
Yep, the door is indeed open.
Potato!
You automatically assumed it was me.
No, I saw you. I walked through the door.
You said potato as you were entering. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, there's a good one. There's about like a 15% chance that I could call out your name and it'd be right. Anyways, I have your voodoo shit.
Cool. I've got some of your stuff. It's the normal stuff.
Yep. Basically, any non-magical weapon that you may have had, Waffleberg.
Have you happened to find the egg that I
What?
was carrying around? It was a pseudo dragon egg. It fairly close to hatching. I would rather they not do whatever they were going to do with it. Did you find that?
Did I find a pseudo dragon egg?
Yes, you did.
I didn't find a pseudo. I mean, got Legion, got Horde. Is that what you named this one?
Are you trying to lie to me about the fact that you found the egg?
No, I'm going through the stuff. I've got the fireball stuff. I've got 95% of Kuiper's spellbook. I'm putting those back in my pocket. There we go. Oh, here we are. Chicken egg.
Thank you.
May Waffleberg offer you this egg in these trying times.
Now you're gonna make me an omelet, yes?
No,
That's
Oh,
a
we are
good
okay.
not.
point. How long does darkness
Secret
last?
dragon.
It only lasts for 10 minutes.
10 minutes in D&D terms is over 1,000 rounds because 1 minute is 100.
Yep.
Sorry, no, correction. 10 minutes
100
is
rounds.
100. 1 minute is 10 rounds. I added an extra 0 to both of those.
So, Potoo,
Mhm.
I hate to be the evil person here, but odds are evens.
Evens. Fuck you.
As you are handed the egg, you see a smear of purple powder on it.
Oh god.
Squint.
What you doing?
Why is there purple powder on the egg?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're going to make me freaking, what is it? Incite you, aren't you?
Doesn't matter if you do, you won't be able to find it on my.
Roll an insight.
That's a 19.
You're just looking at Waffleberg. Waffleberg's not really giving off any clear indications or anything. And then for the briefest moment, Waffleberg, what colour are your eyes?
Which one?
The good one.
Oh, the good one is the bad one is a red.
What was the good one? Sorry, you broke up.
The good one's a blue.
His blue eye, for the briefest moment, turns a pinkish purple before reverting back to blue.
Whatever that powder is, your eye apparently likes to turn new colors now.
So does yours.
Yes, I'm not calling the kettle black, I'm just saying. Whatever you found, it's affecting you outwardly. I found this journal. They were going to burn our shit. Have you found anything else aside from the important stuff like this?
Waffleberg found this journal that talked about them burning our shit. Waffleberg still hasn't found the will to live yet. Still looking for that.
No, unfortunately,
You're
that was in
doing-
the second incinerator.
Yeah, Waffleberg was worried about that. Waffleberg may or may not have found Mariah. Waffleberg heard a voice calling Waffleberg an idiot. Waffleberg can only assume that Mariah had very good intentions for calling Waffleberg an idiot.
Possible. Well, Potoo just looking around the room. Does this appear to be like one of the other rooms that was listed?
No, this is the staff room.
Cool.
You can make
So
me an
that's-
investigation if you're in while you're in here, though. Both of you can.
Sure.
Investigation.
Dirty 20.
Okay, Waffleberg.
That's a 9.
You're just seeing a lot of medical journals around Waffleberg. Probably some information there, but also probably nothing you don't already know.
Ah, yes, a biography textbook, the literal Zonian version of a Playboy magazine.
What, Potoo? On one of these small plinths, you see what seems to be a switch with the words "security barrier" written above it. Looks to be switched on.
Potoo just grin. Flip it off.
You flip the security barrier off, and you hear a crackling noise coming from above.
Oh. Oh, security barriers down now. Kitchen. You have any idea where that might be, Waffleberg?
Look, Waffleberg's only been here a handful of times. Patient. So, like, sure, follow Waffleberg.
Sure. Which way are we going?
Oh, Waffleberg never said that he knew where the kitchen was. He just said follow Waffleberg.
Follow Waffleberg, said Waffleberg free.
We go somewhere. Actually, Potato, you go.
Right.
Mostly because Waffleberg actually has to leave, so apologies.
That's okay. Take care.
Bye!
Bye. Everyone's dropping like flies, but I don't want to make this a free party. So, our little trio up here. You make through the door after just spending time to find the right key. Yet again, large room that you suspect had another use before being turned into a ward. With two doors. This way, this way. Mariah's already rushing ahead.
Kuiper,
Hey,
Doctor needs to move around fast.
take these. And
What'd I miss?
Silveen is going to hand Kuiper the keys that are to all of these doors.
wait, what happened?
Oh, just take these. It'll be fine. Just take these.
Okay. But for real, I went AFK.
So,
You head off with the other doctor.
Very well.
Let's see if I can do this the way that it's supposed to be.
so Kuiper, as you've entered here, just to quickly refresh. Since there have been a room that served another purpose before being turned into just another ward, door going this way, and Mariah's run to this door.
Straight to Mariah.
Okay. Silveen, what are you trying to do?
So I'm going to open, like, and stand in the doorway.
Okay.
And I can do this up to 30 feet, but in this area over here.
Yep.
I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy and create a woman screaming sound coming from that location.
Okay.
And play it on repeat for like a minute, but also make it seem like it's coming in and out, like it's just like warping a little. But
Okay.
it's just like a woman screaming to try to draw Munda's attention, and then I'm coming back in here.
Okay. Are you keeping an eye on the outside?
Was there any windows in this room? Like on this side?
No. The windows
No.
are here.
Yeah, she'll keep an eye looking out through the door just to see if he comes over.
He does not. But what you do see is a couple of raccoons scurry from downstairs. Upwards. You can also make me an investigation check. You see wheel tracks moving from roughly up here, along the pathway, and down the stairs.
Wheel tracks?
Wheel tracks. Not like large wheels, like small wheels.
So like a bed.
Or a gurney. The raccoons look around, look at the screaming woman. Got to try and grab her. And I'm assuming, given it's an illusion, the hands just go through.
Yee.
They just go through, they just stood there. waving around.
Accidentally stab each other with the anesthetic.
They just chitter to each other, and then they run back downstairs.
I didn't even realize this. I've been doing this all wrong.
Go
I'm
on.
casting Disguise Self, and I'm disguising myself as a, like,
Okay.
bully purple version of myself.
Okay.
Like hair, dark purple, almost black. Eyes are gonna be pink, and then the rest of her is gonna be like purple.
Okay.
And
Mariah.
she
Oh, go on.
is just going to grab everybody and let them know, like through this door, that she is going to find her way to the streets,
Okay.
and she's gonna.
Mariah and Kuiper.
Yeah.
You find the kitchen. Actually, seems to be a lot of fresh food put out at the moment. This room, oddly, doesn't seem to be touched by Mundo.
Cake?
Almost as if you quite literally walked into an actual hospital kitchen. No cake. Does seem to be quite a few breads, some large barrels of what seems to be fresh water, which in Zorn is oddly a rarity.
Hungry?
A little, but I don't think we have time.
There is also a door here.
Fair enough. Let's go.
take some things.
On the go, let's do it.
Okay.
Pocket
grab
to
your
feed with the food and the straitjacket.
Yeah, you just grab yourself some bread. And as you go here, you find a storeroom. Seems to be just a larder where they keep the normal food. There's a few barrels in here and a chest.
Can I look closer to this stuff?
Investigation check. Actually, before you roll the investigation check, barrel 1, barrel 2, or chest.
Chest.
Okay. The chest is locked.
Fuck. Barrel 1.
Barrel 1. Barrel 1 contains potatoes.
I love potatoes. I'll take some.
You take some potatoes to make potato milk out of later.
Yes. What about the second one?
Fresh fruit.
Oh, we need our 5 a day here.
Make me an investigation check in there.
Fruit.
Excellent. As you're looking through, a small fuzzy face darts out from between the fruit and just stares at you in the face. As you're face to face with a raccoon.
Doctor, I'm a doctor.
Wait. Harper's gonna hold his hand up in hopes that this raccoon
why
sees him as a raccoon.
Sorry, it's not big anymore.
It looks to you, Mariah, then looks to you, Kuiper. It chitters at you, Kuiper.
Oh no!
And then just kind of dives out the fruit. And he is going to walk over to you, Kuiper. And he's going to press something into your hands before walking off.
Oh no, okay, what is it?
It's a key.
Was the cheese raccoon?
Yeah. Just hastily go to the chest.
Yep. And you find all the rest of your gear that hadn't already been found. So basically all your non-magical, non-weapon stuff.
Ooh. I'm not sure what that counts. Oh, it's just all the rations and consumables and stuff.
And anything else that people had that was fancy and just wasn't an item of interest.
He's just like, oh, food. Wait, this is ours.
You will also find your component pouches in here because technically, unless they knew it was for magical purposes, it would have been seen as a non-item of interest.
Wonderful.
So, you've gotten all your shit back.
Just hands Mariah her stuff. Or rather, just hands it out, lets her take everything.
Oh, thank Well, thank you. Yes, I will take care of all this.
Potoo, are you exiting to try and find the others now?
Yes.
Well, I said Potoo. Oh, Potoo already has done. Potoo,
Oh,
as you exit outside, you look up to where you heard the crackling, just to see what seemed to be like an electric barrier over this place fade. You feel like if you had tried to fly before hitting that switch, yeah, you would have been electrocuted.
Mental happy Potoo face.
You also, I will also need a perception of you.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Uh,
25.
Silveen, are you still looking outside?
No, she is proceeding to go back this way because there was this door that she was interested in, and there were
Which door, sorry?
noises. Yes.
I didn't see the ping, sorry.
Up by
Oh,
the Mun face.
you saw Kuiper quite literally exit through though.
Alrighty, well, then we're gonna go see where Kuiper came from.
Okay. It's just an open walkway.
Wait, is this a street?
Uh, it's more like a walkway for a small gardenish kind of thing. Just somewhere for the patient to go get some fresh air without being, in the courtyard itself.
Mm.
You can actually make me a perception roll, given that this is also open air. Silveen and Potoo, you see a golden ring hovering in the sky.
Mm.
Potoo, since you rolled higher, you see someone watching you from the other side of it.
Immediately squinting at the person.
Seems to be a small, childlike being, giggling.
Part of me wants to gesture to the person. But the other part of me is like, no, it'll probably cause more trouble.
Is there any way for Silveen to like scale this wall next to her up onto the roof?
Onto the roof.
Yeah, of the building.
Make me an investigation check. There's some vines. So I would need an athletics if you're going to do that.
What is it? 22.
You managed to get onto the roof. The roof seems quite slippy indeed.
She is going to be very ginger and careful as she finds something to grab onto.
Okay. Kuiper and Mariah.
Yep.
You've gotten all
yeah.
your stuff back. Where are you going now?
Where do we go now?
I mean,
Let's
you've been told that this
uh,
goes back out into the courtyard.
let's have a peek out into the courtyard first.
Okay. You both have a peek out of the courtyard. You see the small gurney wheel tracks going down the stairs. And you see Potoo, Waffleberg, and Delris. Not Delris, Alari. All carrying their stuff as well as your stuff as well. Including your weapons and any magical items you had.
Well, I think everyone just open the door and start heading towards them.
Yep. Mariah, I'm assuming that as soon as you see your gun, you're rushing for it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
imagine the moment Potoo sees them, he's going to gesture to the ring.
Yep. You both look up and you see a ring in the sky.
Kuiper just
Kuiper.
shakes his head.
Kuiper, religion with
Yep.
advantage.
As if you wouldn't know.
I know. It's got a very low DC check. Yeah, it's Zoe. It's the aspect of Twilight.
He's just shaking his head, keeping his eyes focused on.
So, I take it that's our way out.
I think so. And we don't have a choice when we have that.
You will
When
also
we're
see
allowed out.
Silveen on the roof. Just like
Hello.
holding onto a weather vane.
Just waves at Silveen.
Waves back. Hello.
And it's at this point that the ring seems to descend downwards. And you start to hear the laughter get louder as it does. Before it settles, here. Let me just... Here. Zoe just hops out and just claps her hands. So they give you the spookiest Halloween ever? Hmm?
Oh, it's pretty
Terrifying.
spooky.
I thought it'd be the ultimate prank and you're all like so scared and like you're all running around and...
Gestures to gash in shoulder and collarbone.
It's fine, a good rest will see that through.
Slowly shimmies her way across the roof. I think, in the word of a very certain Potoo, I'd like to go home to my own bed now. I think I'm done with this. It's over.
Fine. Come on, through the ring. Let's all go. Chop chop.
Meanwhile, Mariah is just running around.
And this is when I slip and fall off the roof.
Right into the hole.
I mean, met me in athletics.
Oh.
You managed to grab onto the tree and just shimmy your way down.
I'm a doctor.
We were all doctors for a short period of time.
Oh God. So, just quickly, I know Waffleberg's probably added it to his sheet. Before we leave, Kuiper, did you add to your sheet the vial of purple powder?
Yeah.
Just purely because I know that she's going to be asking for it. Rebecca,
Yes.
add one rusted meat cleaver. No, add one infected meat cleaver to your inventory.
Woo!
This goes off your strength and deals 1d12 plus your strength slashing damage and 2d6 poison damage.
It was worth it all along to become a doctor.
It reaches 5 feet, it hits one target, and if the attack brings the creature to 0 hit points, you regain hit points equal to half the damage dealt by the attack.
Nice.
Just imagining inscribed on it, it's like freaking doctorate thing.
Does anybody have a ragtag bag that doesn't look like it is really worth anything at all?
Who takes
Whoever,
care of his shit?
whoever had the non-magical war weapons things, which I think was Kuiper.
It's
I mean, there's a bunch of ruined strike jackets.
She's just gonna see if she can get her things back from Kuiper.
Okay. Yeah, you'll do so. And as you all head through the golden ring, you all find yourselves back in Bilgewater, at the spot where you're supposed to use Pebble to get yourselves back to the Sentinel's temple. On top of that, your pets that didn't go through with you that you still had alive at the time, such as Devi and Pebble themselves, are here. They've been waiting. It seems that despite it being one long night for you lot here, it was no time at all through the portal. In fact, if anyone were to watch, such as the person that told your fortunes, they would have seen you fall through a portal and then jump back out of it.
Is Zoe around?
All wearing different
Uh,
clothing.
Zoe is still through the other side of the portal. She just waves with a laugh and closes the portal.
I'm
Hmm.
glad that she had fun with what I assume is a prank. But hopefully
just-
she doesn't try to kill us again.
Face palms his forehead, just like why else?
Meanwhile, back in the past, blurry eyes open up to a light above. As our Baron friend comes to. And Mundor steps forward with a meat cleaver in hand, and various instruments in the other. Now, Mundo here to make you feel all better. And screams filled Zorn that night. As Zorn lost themselves a Baron and gained themselves a legend.
Or unfortunate Kim Baron.
And the timeline was restored because, yes, technically that Baron does die in canon. Who knew that it was because Waffleberg forgot to look after them?
No, the scary part is that
It was
Mundo probably
all-
remembers us now.
Why do you think he's been so obsessed with trying to find you?
You think he's been trying to give freaking Mariah cupcakes?
Exactly. So,
Oh no.
and that is where we're leaving it there for this week. At the end of our 2021 Halloween specials.
Woo!
I hope
GG, everybody lived.
I hope you all had fun with that. I certainly had a lot of fun
Wonderful.
doing this.
I've had a lot of fun.
Next week will be the continuation of the Sentinels of Light plotline. But
Ew.
if you have noticed, I have started up the hints for another plotline here.
Aw.
Because coming up on the 7th of this month is indeed Arcane. So yes, prepare for Arcane plotlines to happen in the future.
Yes, good point.
Because by the time we finish Sentinel of the Lights events, all of Arcane will be out. So I'll have that juicy lore, and I'll be able to run something based on that.
Hell yeah.
Lay, I
Yes.
love this because so Silveen is now all purple and looks like she's wearing a doctor's coat, but when you look closer and you realize that it's the coat that kept her tied up, just all the
Okay.
little like straps hanging down. She
So
has now buckled the book that she found on the desk into one of the straps so that it kind of just like floats next to her.
So I want to point out two quick things. One, that actually would have fooled Mundo. The purple stuff would have. But Kuiper being a raccoon with the glamour would not have.
I mean, it depends what he would have seen.
Well, that's the thing. League canon has already established the insane see Yordles for what they are, even with glamour. Because Jinx
Ah,
saw Ziggs for what he was.
that makes sense.
The only difference is Jinx thought that Ziggs was her conscience or something like that. So Mundo would have just seen you and be like, fuzzy odd creature, maybe suffering from lycanthropy, maybe bitten by rabbit gerbil. Patient.
Like, no, I'm purple. Prestidigitation, close his eye.
I mean, that might have worked. Anyway, one other thing before we stop the recording for today. For those of you who play Wild Rift on the European servers, we actually now have a guild set up. I know that not many people watch this video, but who knows, just in case. I just want to get this out there. So look up the Gently Used Fish on Wild Rift. Come join our clan if you want to. We don't really do too much, but we'd appreciate the more crew members. Plug, 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 plug.
I'm gonna actually
All the
cry
plug.
if you forget people.
I'm gonna laugh now if I just look at this after Friday and it's like, why are we up to 20 players on the guild now? Anyway, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Dark Tides of Runeterra. Bye.
Bye.